If you're running a software development agency, it shouldn't be too hard to grow. Welcome to ManagedCoder Podcast. Tune in every week to find out how to grow your software development agency and help you to solve your day-to-day problems. With 20 plus years experience running an agency, please welcome your host, Shahed Islam.
Hey, Brian, welcome.
Hello, Saeed.
Happy
I'm
New
doing
Year.
great. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Great, great. So it was very nice talking to you a few weeks ago. I thought our conversation was very interesting, and I'd like to invite you to our podcast. Can you introduce yourself a little bit and tell me about your company?
Absolutely. My name's Brian Gerstner, and I'm the president of White Label IQ. We focus on working with agencies as strategic partners to help them scale. And in doing that, we bring a level of expertise to agencies that we believe they're not able to handle in-house or to maintain and sustain in-house. It creates a great synergy for us. So we can really kind of help clients bring that kind of sophistication to their end clients in a way that they cannot do on their own.
That's great, great. Our conversation around strategic partnership, and the term is probably something new for a lot of agency owners who are trying to grow. And so far, my first question would be, what is strategic partnership? If you have to explain it to someone who doesn't have any idea about it.
No, absolutely. It's like a lot of business. It's finding somebody whom you can develop trust with, because at the base of it, business is trust. From that point, it's finding someone who complements you really well, finding someone who has resources, who has skill sets, industry knowledge that you don't necessarily have, but because of the trust and the relationship you can build, you can become a greater than the sum. From that, it's about being able to take that to market. If you have a specialty, if you have something that you do very well, and you have a partner who has something they also specialize very well, and you complement each other, then that opens up the doors. You can approach more people, you can approach more clients. It gives you a lot more opportunity to be able to go in the market and really deliver that value. Because at the end of the day, it's not really about what you do, it's about the value you can bring to your end client. You can't just sell things. You have to sell that value, and you have to have a way to describe it. And the partnerships kind of give you a way to expand that description, expand that value.
Can you give me, since our audiences are mostly web development, software development agencies, they are niching down a specific group of people, but can you give us some examples? Who would be a strategic partner for a software development company in India or Bangladesh or even in US or in Europe, in Netherlands? What would be?
No, I mean, some of the key areas are, as a development agency, a lot of times maybe you focus on WordPress. Maybe you focus on e-commerce. Maybe you focus on design or SEO. Those are all very niche areas. So if you really want to do well and you bring the expertise, it's you can have a lot more power by talking about how you specialize in one area, instead of going out to somebody and telling it, hey, I do this and I do that and I do this. So if you are an agency who knows what you do well and you're very confident about what you do, possibly an SEO agency might need a really strong web partner. A web partner might need an SEO agency because that's very content and strategy driven. You might have somebody who's just doing WordPress, but you need help moving into, like, say, .NET or another technical area. Or even if you're somebody who's doing WordPress, maybe even having somebody who brings a bit of expertise into e-commerce so that you can be more aggressive into e-commerce. The complement there between WordPress and e-commerce may not be as obvious, but e-commerce is so critical to a business that you really have to have additional capabilities, like the ability to be 24/7 available if the site goes down, the ability to, understand the requirements for getting payment gateways, to be able to ensure that, site stability is there, website maintenance, and just the type of even, you may even find a great opportunity in strategic partnerships in partnering with somebody who has great account management, who has great onboarding, who has great client relationships. So you can provide those technical skill sets against somebody who really has the relationships that you need to really have that reach out into the market. So, a key part about strategic relationships is being honest with yourself. What are you good at, and having the strength and confidence to focus on those things you have really quality, expertise, deliverability on, and just being able to demonstrate that. That's hard.
That's
That's
very
really
well said. I mean, I can agree with you so much because in last 19 years running my agency, I
Mhm.
think so many times we have done strategic partnership with a competitor also,
Mhm.
because I found out that they have a very good Salesforce developer, Unity developer.
Yeah.
I cannot go and hire someone. So reaching out to them and working and client, relationship, just with your name also white label, a lot of
Yeah.
times white label can be done. So my question would be, if I am running an agency with 5, 10 or 20 people, how do I find a strategic partner? Do I go get work first or do I make a relationship first?
Um, I tell this to our clients all the time. You really need to start developing the relationships with strategic partners, and it's how we've grown. There are times where maybe we could have handled it in house, but we use the opportunity to grow a relationship, because when you need somebody, you need to know they're there. And strategic partnerships don't just happen out of magic. Like, it's not like walking into a store and purchasing. As I said in the beginning, it's about trust. You need to trust that person on the other side. Are they going to deliver? Do they have the skill sets you need? Are they reliable? Are they trustworthy? Are they honest with you? So, taking the time to invest in that partner, to invest into the relationship, to bring them work so that you can still, be top of mind with them, is important. And the reason the relationship is leads is because if you have that trust, all of a sudden you're way more confident to go after the business. You have that person, you're going to be more aggressive about it, just out of human nature. If you're not confident, it comes across, people see it, you know and the beauty too is, once you have that relationship, bring the partner with you on those meetings. Bring them in. Let Be honest about it. You have to be vulnerable to be in a strategic relationship, to bring that person in, to let them speak to their expertise, to tell the client at the end that you're taking care of them, because you brought the best with you. I'm
Yeah.
the best here, they're the best there, and that type of vulnerability and honesty honestly goes a long way to build trust.
And that does not mean that you outsource everything. It is a little bit different than, oh, I start a few person company and I outsource everything to everyone. Everybody will do the job.
Yeah.
It is your core client base, your core team has to be there. You
I,
just like there are certain weakness you have it, you look for someone, right?
no, absolutely. And honestly, we do it a lot also. We have in-house our core of what we do. And just like other things, like, we want to grow a little more into doing more sophisticated platform work. And maybe, we need more expertise in Node.js. I don't have enough work right now to support one or multiple positions in Node.js. In addition to that, if I just brought one person on staff, that one person needs to take vacations. They get sick. They have a life outside of it. So when we're growing into new verticals and areas, we find a partner. We find an agency partner, particularly because when I have someone who has a problem, people don't work in a vacuum. They need other people in that agency to work through issues with. So when I'm working with an agency partner, the individual person has the resources available to talk to the person next to them, to figure out the problem. And that brings more confidence to us, and it allows us to bring more quality to the table. And here's the thing about being honest is these are partnerships. This is business. As a strategic partner, one day your partner, their success might mean that they grow and you help them get to that point. But maybe 2, 5, 10 years from then, they build that capacity in house because they've gone great. That's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
You just demonstrated that you can be a strategic partner and that you know how to do that. And look what I just did. I just helped my client grow and just be successful to the point where they're doing great. This
That's
is
great.
not like a one-shot thing. This is a skill. This is like something it's not like you do it once and you have to be worried about them going away. You need to know how to do that, and you need to figure out how to do it multiple times.
So, can you give us actually three-step process? Like, how do you start? What is the next three-step for any agency who's looking for partners on strategic side of it?
Yeah, I mean, the first is just to invest the time. Start reaching out. Just start doing discovery calls and just tell people, "Hey, I have some big growth goals in front of me. One of my goals is to do XYZ." And just start going out, go onto LinkedIn, set up 5, 10, 20-minute conversations just to talk to people, you know. And once that's the first step. And then when you identify somebody you feel you have some chemistry with, because right at the end of the day, it's like there's a million people could do the same things we have, but if we get along and we have chemistry, we can build on top of that. The second one is to start finding work, to start finding ways to collaborate, to start sharing information about how you do what you would do, even if it's just advice, saying, "Hey, I just want to tell you I found this cool thing and here's what I'm doing with it. That might be beneficial to you." If you have the right partner, they're going to come back and start doing the same thing with you, and you're going to start to develop a communication. Okay. From there, bring work. Maybe it's a small piece of work. Maybe you land a really big job, but you've already identified people. So start going to people and start putting yourself out there. Start working with them. The third step in developing a strategic partnership is to build that alignment. Okay. Is to go a little bit farther beyond projects, beyond a transactional relationship, and actually start looking for a little bit of love, telling them, okay, I think we can do more. I think we can do more together. And then start finding opportunities together that's beyond the transaction. Start going, we can do this together. Let's start bringing our resources and go after a bigger game. Let's start hunting after larger accounts together.
One area of concern for a lot of other agencies I have seen that they are thinking about that if I go ahead and share my client information to another strategic partner,
Mhm.
they may take my business away, and that is a valid concern. So
Mhm.
the legal side, how do you vet, strategic partners? How do you protect yourself so that you are legally protected at least some level? I know
Mhm.
we can never protect ourselves 100%, but what are
Right.
the steps you can take so at least there is a white label side of it? The term white label may be something you want to explain.
Um, as we talked about earlier, trust doesn't come easy. It takes time. You earn trust. But one way is look for agencies who do this with other people already. Look for someone who's already has a proven track record in having strategic partnerships. Because if that agency has multiple strategic partnerships, they did not get there by being dishonest. You know, they have, and maybe even see if they're willing to share references. Um, there is risk involved. There always is, and you can put as many contracts as you want in place, and at the end of the day, it's still paper. But if you really want to vet, find somebody who's already doing it. Find someone who's already been successful at it with other agencies, and just become one of their partners.
No, that's great. That's great. Any other advice for agency owner from you on the strategic partnership or anything else on 2023 they should think about?
The key for it is know what you're good at and focus. If you're not if you're not niching down, then you're never going to be great at anything, and you're not going to be remembered for anything. You need to have a focus to do well in these markets because there's so much noise. There's so many people out there, and end clients these days, they're not signing up with one person anymore. They're bringing someone on for SEO. They're bringing someone for development. They're bringing on someone for another thing, and they expect you to play well.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. It was very nice talking to you. Hopefully, we'll welcome you back again with a lot of other things. Thank you. What is the best way to contact you?
Through our website, whitelabeliq.com, or find me on LinkedIn too. We produce a lot of content, and hopefully if you go there, you'll find it helpful.
Thank you, Brian. Thank
Wonderful.
you again. Take care.
Take care.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from us, you can follow us on Twitter at ManagedCoder or visit our website at ManagedCoder.com. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.